Hello, hello, hi everybody. It's Margot Levette here, her business, her voice, her conversation. Can you believe it is the second week of February? Gosh, and we are still celebrating Black History Month. So, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I have episodes for you. Today's episode is to let you know what I have cooked up and ready for you. The theme this week, Black woman. You are enough. Care for yourself and stand in your truth. So kicking off this week, starting Thursday, February the 11th, I am going to bring you a conversation with a certified trained Yanni steamed practitioner. Never heard of such a thing until Maclean Deservine came on, and Yanni Mac told me a thing or two about womb care, WOMB, yes. And she tells me that the womb is the heart of a woman's body. So, Maclean is coming to us on Thursday, the 11th. You don't want to miss that. I learned a lot. I really did. Ladies, let's care for ourselves. And then on Friday, the 11th, the tables turn. I'm bringing back an interview. Someone is interviewing me. And I tell you, I've started out just when the creator, the founder, the head of Verkay Bashani Radio, the CEO calls you himself and asks for an interview. After I finished screaming into my hand, I professionally said yes and thank you so very much. Well, Mr. Benny Randall Jr. he's a very skilled interviewer, and he does everything on purpose. I thought that we were going to talk about reinventing myself, because he calls me the queen of reinvention. And yeah, I am the queen of reinvention. I still hold that title. But I really thought that we were going to just deep dive into the reinvention process and how that happened for me. But the conversation took a magical and necessary life of its own. And I felt the shift early in the conversation. There was a sense of freedom. There was a peace. There was a sense and knowing of now is the time to tell your truth. So that's exactly what I did. On his guided conversation, I let everybody understand why I was able to walk away from a job that I had known for 26 years, a company that I moved from Illinois to California to accept, and I was there for 26 years. Why did I leave? How dare I move away? How did I find the grit, the gumption to do such a thing? And at the end of the conversation, when I posted on LinkedIn, do you know that conversation trended? That let me know that there are a lot of women, there are a lot of men that need that same release, that liberty to tell their truth without apology. And that day, I was able to share with them what it looks like, what it feels like to finally confront unresolved childhood trauma. And when it comes up and bubbles over as a mighty volcano, what do you do about that? So that all came out of one interview. Didn't see it coming, but it was life-changing. And when it trended on LinkedIn, that let me know that it was life-changing for a bunch of other people also. All right? That's coming up on Friday the 12th. So, what do I have in store for you on the 13th, which is Saturday? We are going to take a look at self-doubt. Going to answer the question, am I enough? And we're doing it by way of a panel discussion. These lovely ladies, my goodness, every time I listen to this interview, it just pumps me up. And I know that once again, we're helping people, we're helping women know that they can face head on whatever their next is because they are enough. So the panel members: relationship solutionist Suzette R. Viernan, confidence coach Charlotte Elizabeth Terrell, entrepreneur Andrene Booth. Wow, this is uncut. The conversation was not heavily edited. We told our truths. We're all Christians, and we came at this thing from biblical standpoint, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful conversation. So, Saturday the 13th, panel discussion with relationship solutionist Suzette R. Viernan, confidence coach Charlotte Elizabeth Terrell, and entrepreneur Andrene Booth. We're talking about answering the question, am I enough? Friday, as I told you, Friday the 12th. Wow, what a conversation. Tables are turned, and the head of Verke magazine is interviewing me, and we make some life-changing conversation happen, right? And Thursday the 11th, what are you doing for your womb? How are you caring for yourself? We have that conversation with Maclean. So that's what I have in store for you here. Her business, her voice, her conversation. Now, where can you listen? On my website, on my blog page. You can always go over to Apple and subscribe. Why don't you subscribe? Because, I'm giving you a lot of information. We're still talking about reinventing ourselves. These episodes that I'm giving you are still targeted to give you information, inspiration, and how do you make this thing work as far as reinventing to be an entrepreneur, an author, a podcaster. And we're taking a deep dive look at excuse me, and I'm not going to edit that out. We're taking a look at some things that can hinder you from being your ultimate best as you reinvent yourself. It's Black History Month. I'm wondering, have you taken time to watch the movie, 20 Feet from Stardom? It's a film that I discovered last year, even though it was created in 2013. It's an American documentary that takes a deep dive look into the lives of legendary background singers Darlene Love, Mary Clayton, Lisa Fisher, Judith Hill, and Claudia Lanier. I love this movie. I really do. Documentary filmmaker Morgan Neville directed it. It took away some awards. It really did. The 86 Academy Award gave it Best Documentary Feature. It won the 19th Critics' Choice Award, and I think it took home a Grammy also. So very well made. It is a true, transparent look at the world of background singers. I tell you, when I watch it, it looks like hard work. Yeah. It's a world with no guarantees. You're taking risks, up and downs. But these ladies are legends because they didn't drop out. They just stayed the course. So as I watched the film, I grabbed a pen and paper because I wanted to write down some of the highlights, take down a few quotes. I wanted to let you know that Darlene Love is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the quote that I take away from the film from her is when she said, "My life has been all about trying to make a success of the gift that I have." Haven't we all been trying to make a success out of the gift that we have? Mary Clayton. I have listened to the Rolling Stones many of their Rolling Stones, many of their tunes, but I believe the name of the cut is Shots Fired. Mary Clayton talks about how she got a call from the Stones, and it must have been late into the evening or even into the night. They wanted her to come to the studio, and I'm sure that it was the tune Shots Fired. She went in and she just, man, I didn't know it was her voice, but what she did on that tune made the whole thing. Hands down for me, it made all the difference in the world. All I can say is you have to rent 20 Feet from Stardom or buy it, because you have to listen for Mary Clayton. It's just remarkable what she did with that Stones cut. Same thing for Lisa Fischer. Man, Sting said his greatest pleasure is to stand back and let them do what they can do. Lisa Fischer, he stood back and let her just have her way. Let her voice get into our very bones. One of his biggest selling hits, and once again, I can't remember the name of the song, but once you take a look at, you to go through 20 Feet from Stardom and you hear her and you see her, she's just off into the moment. You'll say, wow, what if he had bridled her on that tune? It would not be the same. So once again, sorry, don't remember the name of the song, but I know Lisa Fischer she just crushed it and made it. I like what Judith Fisher said in the movie. She said, when you're a background singer, it is a springboard, but it can easily become a quicksand if that's not what you want to do. So it sounds like you have to be ready, and you have to keep pushing, but you have to be ready for the fact that you may never be the star. That's what it sounds like. And that could be quite hard for many people. I'm sure it was a deterrent, and it disillusioned many people. But I love that quote. I thought it was very, very honest. And then Mick Jagger, he said, concerning Claudia Lanier, he said, a hot, beautiful girl. And he was just smiling. So I say all this to say 20 Feet from Stardom was a remarkable film if you want to know about background singers, these legends that really, I would venture to say, they shaped music. They worked with Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Sting, Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen. They made the music, helped make the music that we enjoy to this day. 20 Feet from Stardom. All right, that's it. I'll be back next week. Brand new episode. Her business, her voice, her conversation.